What's up, SNA Assassinators? This is Super Ninja Austin back here with another video. And this is the NXT review video on April 8th, 2025. And yeah, NXT was pretty entertaining tonight, like with the more build up on the road to Stand and Deliver, just like their main rosters, WrestleMania. And, and yeah, we got like some matches with like who's gonna be the next challenger for the challenge, should I say, challengers for a particular championship, and we also got like the main event match. Yeah, we saw plenty of fallout, which probably not as much as we expected though, but it was continuing like they showed that these guys definitely did not can't be in the same place. But this is where we got and we also got like we got some we got like a tag team trying to get into the title picture, which I'll say if it's not the Hardy brothers that are gonna fight Nathan versus Axiom, maybe these guys should be in the match and be the ones to dethrone Frazier and Axe. But we're gonna get into that in just a moment. And we got what's to come for next week's NXT as well, and much more. And also and we also got like competition like into the mid card divisions as well. We got two more qualifiers in the women's ladder match to see who's going to crowd the NXT Women's North American Champion, and plus much more. And make sure to hit the subscribe button and click on the notification bell for more of SNA's videos, and also subscribe on this other channel at SNA Entertainment. Thank you very much in advance. This is where we got a backstage interview with Stephanie Vaquer by Kelly Kincaid, by saying like we're just moments away from a match between Jordynne Grace and Jada Parker, which she was asking like, who do you want to be her opponent? This, ahead of this match is where she was like she don't quite know but when she's impressive of which women's performance, like she will immediately let everybody know like who she's gonna pick. Is the opponent and challenger. But I was like, well, hopefully, like she doesn't choose somebody that didn't win the match. Like, but that would make sense. Like, what's the point of even having this match? It's like, I don't know, like what kind of comparison to this? I'll say that's like you asking for like a specific dessert, like, but you really wanted the complete opposite of it. But oh yeah. I'm about to go pick up Louis from work. Okay, no problem. All right, yes, ma'am. hmm But this is where we got Jordynne Grace and Jada Parker then got started in the match. Like, but as I was saying, like, yeah, like it's like asking for ice cream rather than cake, and then you end ice cream rather than cake, but you end up asking for cake at the last minute. That would be like pretty much like that kind of scenario. If I'm saying, if I'm making the comparisons of the analogy, right? But this is where we got. This is where they start. This is where we got the women were fighting each other outside until we got Jordynne Grace who trying to go for a sleeper. But this is where Jada Parker hits a back drop right onto the back of what's her name of Jordynne Grace, right into the hardest part of the ring apron. This is where then she tried to hit her face first, but this is where got Jordynne Grace ends up countering out of what they call a face buster right into the apron. This is where then she hits her right into instead. This is where then she throws her back in the ring until she gets stomped in the back. This is where Jada Parker tried to go for the Irish whip to the right side, but only for Jordynne Grace to counter and go for what they call an atomic drop buster. This is where she followed it up with a Death Valley driver, looks similar to a Dream Valley driver. This is where she had her in the snapmare flip. This is where she went to the right corner side, hit an elbow drop. This is where then she hit her elbow dive onto the female member of OTM. This is where she throws Jada Parker back into the right outside, but in the right corner this time. This is where we got what's her name? Jordynne Grace then ends up trying to go for like some kind of an Alabama slam maneuver. But this is where this ends up getting immediately countered by Jada. This is where Miss Parker then goes counter and try to go for a pile driver. Looks similar to like a certain hardcore icon would have done, which I don't like if he's no longer in the company, like when he obviously has a Legends deal with. But anyway, this is where we got Jordan Grace hit a cymbal clap right to the head of Jada Parker. Jada then ends up got her right in the shoulders. However, when Jordan Grace tried to go for an attack, he hits what's it called, a flapjack right back in the ring. This is where then we got. And we got Jada Parker goes right to the left side, trying to go for a hypnotic, or well, at least we thought it was gonna be hypnotic, but she hits in blockbuster neck breaker. This is where did she try to go for a pin, only for get denied at 2 point, what was it, 7? Jada Parker did not. I wasn't so pleased about this, so she then ends up going for a suplex onto the juggernaut, but this is where Jordan Grace was not going to take the maneuver for an answer. She ends up countering not once but twice, pushes Jada right into the upper right side with her shoulder strength. This is where she start hitting her with her ribs. This is where they try to go for splash, only for Jada Parker flips over Jordan. This is where she hits the right hand. This is where we got the former Knockouts champion, then try to go for a springboard, only get tripped over underneath, flying into the middle rope by Jada Parker. This is where she hit some chops right onto her midsection after tripping over and got her into like a what's it called, like a wedge situation. Then hits a leg bomb drop like right onto the Big Mama Pump juggernaut. This is where then we got Jada Parker's like, yeah, strike 3, that means you're out. Like, which, I hate to break it to Jada, like they're playing wrestling. I mean, they're in a wrestling match, not in a baseball game. Like, which I believe that was in the other channel. But anyway, this is where we got Jada, then try to go for a splash. Like we did not, she did a splash on her, probably not once but twice. Then ends up hitting her with a back suplex to follow that up when the partial powerful force was on. But let's move on to that. Once they got done with the adverts, it's where we got Jada Parker try to do an avalanche maneuver, only for her to get countered by Jordan Grace with her going for a sunset flip. Then this is where we got this is where Jada Parker go for a dive, but only for Jordan Grace then scare her off without trying to go for a splash. But it's where we got Jada Parker then ends up running right into the upper left side. It's where she tried to go for what's it called, like what's that, snake eyes, like firewoman's carry, but this is where she turns it into like a tombstone power driver position onto Jordan Grace, only for Jordan Grace to try to go on for her own. It's where she starts spinning around and try to readjust her, which is a smart move. But this is where she ends up flipping her right back, like if she just had a German suplex onto Miss Parker. Both of them were down. This is where the referee was checking on both women to see if they haven't suffered an injury. This is where once it was confirmed that they didn't, which was luckily that was the case. This is where then we got the match still was going with what's his name, what's her name, Jordan Grayson started hitting some strikes right into the head of what's her name, Jada Parker, until she tried to go for backslide, only for Jada Parker like with a kick, like a shin kick, followed up with a mini version of the hypnotic or the miniature hip attack, like with what's his name, Vic Joseph, at least Vic Joseph described it as. This is where we got her then had her plan right into the bottom left side to go to the upper right side diagonally, but this is where it ended up backfiring because Jordan Grace didn't start fighting back and put it right in the corner instead. And then this is where we got her hit the head double hand chop. This is where then she got her up into electric chair position, hits her face first, then followed up with some like a firewoman's back carry, like with her hitting her right into the putting her right in the back of her shoulders and hit her with a splash that way. This is where she tried to go for a pin, only for her to get denied by Jada yet again. This is where we got Jordan then ends up trying to pick herself right back up. This is where then she was trying to regroup and plan on the new idea, which I believe she was about to hit her with her pump handle slam or the Big Mama Pump Slam or whatever she calls it. But yeah, before I continue, I'll say that's where the fans start chanting, "This is awesome," by the way. Why I'm gonna probably give it I'll say probably the golden trophy of the night. Why not? Nothing against the main event. It's just that it was like unexpected, and I don't know, like it just lacked something like that it needed to be. But I'm not gonna get in too much into details at this time. But I'm gonna say let's just say it was something that just seemed like if it was just a normal tag match, like if it's not gonna gonna lead up into something big at a what they call at stand and deliver, except for the post match segment. But I'm not gonna get into, like I said, not getting into it at the moment. But yeah, this is where we got Jada Parker try to pick up Jordan Grace into like a reverse suplex maneuver, but this is where she ends up nearly getting dragon suplex or dragon sleeper by the Juggernaut. This is where we got what's her name? Jada Parker picks up Jordan Grace, hit her with a suplex face buster combo. This is where she tried to attempt to go for a hypnotic, only for her to get dodged out of the way by Jordan Grace. This is where then we got Jordan that ends up running to the left side, hits try to go for a suicide dive, only for that move ends up going backfire because yeah, she landed directly right on her head and face. I was like, hopefully that she's doing okay. Like after taking a botch maneuver like that, hopefully that she didn't suffer any serious injuries, which I believe that's definitely going to be pointed out the next day on the IWC. But luckily, I'm getting to talk about myself. But I'm not trying to say like trying to get no attention, but I'm saying like it just feels awesome for me to notice something like right when it was live when I watched the broadcast, because normally when it comes to something quick and something short, like especially when it's something serious, I totally forget it, and I apologize for the past couple of times that I have not pointed it out until now. This is where we got Stephanie Vaquer and what did Jada Parker start going at when Jordan Grace threw her right into Stephanie. It was Stephanie Vaquer like, don't ever go to my way ever again. This is where then she got. This is where then we got. This is where they start arguing. This is where Jada Parker. I didn't mean to. Like if I wanted to, like I would have done more than that. Like this for an example, when she like slapped her right in the face with her exemplified message, but once she tried to go to attack what's her name, Jordan Grace, is where what's her name turned her back around. Stephanie Vaquer was like, oh, like she didn't really just went there and put her damn hands on me. That's where she tried to go right back, but she ends up slapping Jordan Grace. Jada Parker started slap my back. This is where she throws Stephanie Vaquer in the ring. This is where we got Jordan Grace then hits a right hand on the Jada Parker. This is where Jada Parker then like, oh, she didn't put her hand. This is where Jordan Grace started going right on top of Stephanie, then tried to throw her right to the side until we saw a shocking, surprising return, which I should have said in the first place, which I need to start being more accurate than ever. But yeah, this is where it was none other than the shocking Julia, which I never thought we would see at this time anytime soon, especially for Stand and Deliver. But fast and forward of tonight on April 8th, like we finally like seeing like in the next 11 days she will be a part of NXT Stand and Deliver. But once they but this where we got a pretty cool sequence, like with both Stephanie Vaquer and Julia hit a double drop kick on their respective opponent ladder, I guess you could refer them as, or both Jordan Grace with for what's her name, Julia, and Stephanie Vaquer with Jada Parker, until they went right back to each other. This is where at first Julia and Stephanie Vaquer was being a bit friendly to each other, like saying, like, hey, like Stephanie, like, hey, Julia, like, how you been? Like, yeah, you finally recovered. This where then Julia was like, yeah, like, but like enough with all the pleasant, polite greetings. Like now it's time to get the action. This is where then she started immediately attacking with a headbutt. This is where way she did it was similar like a heel would do. Which I wouldn't be surprised if this is a tease of a heel turn. Like whoever walks out as the NXT Women's Champion, she's definitely gonna turn, because after this she hits her with her sidewalk suplex buster maneuver, Majiggy, put down her frenemy onto the canvas. And that's where then Julia said, I'm taking back what's mine, and that is the NXT Women's Championship. And we're gonna see what's been revealed, like after as soon as Stephanie Vaquer went back into the backstage area with what's it where Ava was located at. This is where she was like, okay, you have a choice to pick like one of the three that was in the ring tonight inside that brawl with you. It could be Jordan Grace, it could be what's his name? What's her name? Jordan Grace, Julia, or even Jada Parker. This is what she was like. I choose, like, instead of like choosing one of these women, she ends up choosing both of them, all of them, because she wants to prove that she's a she's a very established, well-established champion, like which she had have a track record of being known as a champion. Like given that she won gold everywhere else in outside of the United States and maybe even inside. I'm not sure about the insider part, but I know like probably two countries, which I probably mentioned last year that she won championship from, but that's a different video from a different day. But this is where then we got a backstage interview between not interview, backstage segment between Hank and Tank, being with the what's it called, the Evolve's tag team, the top tag team of Evolve, which their names were what the names were. Oh, the swipe right, yeah, swipe right. Hank and Tank. That's where then he's like, we heard that swipe right was like, yeah, we heard that y'all were having a bit of a tough patch, and we thought like we'll give you some advice. Like, yeah, you just a great tactic. Like, yeah, we thought it would pay forward. Like, but actually be Fraxium with this handshaking and stars on Facebook. This was like, we'll be. It was like, well, we're gonna give. But in the meantime, we're gonna let you have your little fun. Like, go get your pens and get your paper. Like, and just take some notes from us. And this is where then. And this is where Hank and Tank was like, who the hell they think they are? And most important, who the hell they are? And this is where Hank Walker's like, should we take their advice? This is where Tank Ledger reassured him, saying, no, Hank, we're not going to be running anything from them. But this is where we got Fraxium that came out because, yeah, they are fighting tag team champions, like, and they're very fast. And yeah, this took like less than, I'll say, even a minute, like for them to come out. Like I think it was even less than 30 seconds after the segment. But what are your thoughts? Who do you think is going to be the next challenger for the NXT Tag Team Champions? Let me know in the comment section right down below. Oh, excuse me. What was that? The usual. Oh, okay. No problem. You good. Anyways, Assassinators. This is where we got but once we got done with the adverts, like once we got a segment with the what's it called, the what family they call themselves, the Cutter, the Cutting family. I think it's called the Cutting. This is where then Brooks Jensen and what's her name, and Izzy Dame and what's her name, Nico Vance were apologizing and saying like yeah, well don't worry, we'll get your North American Championship back in no time. This is where then what's his name, this is where Sean Spears like, oh, don't worry about me, like because like yeah, I'm all beyond and moved on from that title anyway, like. What y'all need to be is to do is focus on getting y'all's own championship opportunities. Like as for you, Izzy, like you need you got an opportunity tonight against what's her name, Ren Sinclair, like for the NXT Women's North American Championship in the qualifier, like to see who's gonna be in this women's ladder match, to crown a new Women's North American Champion, because we all know like a week ago, Stephanie Vaquero shockingly just put the title in the vacancy list, I guess you could say. Because like WWE thinks that it'll be too much work. I see a title, but yeah, this is where then he went up directly like to what's his name, Nico Vance and what's his name, Brooks Jensen, and said like I got yeah, like and I want you two to go after those tag team champions. Don't let Hank and Tank stop you from getting what you want here. And this is where we got the tag team match between Nathan Frazier and Axiom or Fraxium from we put together. This is where we got Brad Baylor and what's his name? Brad Baylor and Ricky Smoke. Like, and yeah, no, I'm not talking about Ricky Saints, but yeah, you get the point. That's where it was the swipe right, like that came out. And I'll say, gotta admit, like Frisbee, like a mid-card tag team, man. It was pretty interesting, yeah. And that's where we got something was coming out of the mouths of what's the name, Nathan Frazier and Axiom, only for them to get distracted by who was it? It was Brad Baylor that came in and probably booed him. That's where Brad Baylor ended up tagging in Ricky Smoke, which he had him in a double H position. That's where. Oh no, it was Ricky Smokes that booted Axiom out, then go for like a spine buster with a drop kick from Brad Baylor. This is where Baylor tried to go for pin. But it's where then Vic Joseph made a joke about like he's looking like Matt Damon. I was like, yeah, like if he was still young again, but it's where we got Brad Baylor that goes for a snap bear and the jawbreaker. This is where the And this is where we got what's his name? This is where we got what's his name? Brad Baylor tagging back in Ricky Smokes, I believe. This is where he had the drop kick. This is where Booker T claimed that it reminds him of him when he had a drop kick, which Vic Joseph responded back with a question like, when did you ever did a drop kick? Which he said in his Harlem Heat days in WCW, which I guess that makes sense, much sense in the world, like in general. But anyway, this is where we got it. This is where we got Ricky Smoke then hit a forearm strike round Nathan Frazier. I mean, Axiom, which some tells me like in their own division, in the tag team division on Evolve, they're the heel tag team. But this is where then we got Nathan Frazier to step up into gear, like if he's his wrestling teacher. Once we got what's his name? Ricky Smoke. This is where then he goes for step up into gear. This is where he hits the into gear onto Brad Baylor once you got his leg. That's where we got Axiom Frazier. Axiom. This is where we got. They start going for super kicks and go for kicks, and then they got the Axiom the drop kicking. What was his name? Ricky Smoke, like right into the right side. Then did a suicide dive onto Brad Baylor, while Frazier then hit a dive onto what's his name, Ricky Smoke. Anyway, then we got Axiom doing it for it yet again. This is where we got Eddie Frazier ends up doing it again. This is where we got. But this is where we got what else happened. This is where then we got Axiom. Then had what's his name? Brad Baylor right to the bottom right corner, just hitting some chops, some punches, forearm strike repeatedly. With the referees saying like, "All right, stop it! You got him right in the corner. You got about the count of 5, which he was at 3.2. This is where we got Axiom to try to go for an attack, but he ends up getting springboard, what they call it, speared by Ricky Smoke when he got a blind tag, which I barely pointed out like to myself, of course. But this is where we got. This is where we got Ricky Smoke there. You're not gonna be you're gonna get down for the pinfall for this matter, but this is where then he hangs right what's his name Axiom right into the middle ropes, like this is where this is where then he pulls back. This is where the referee tells him to let go of him or he will be DQ'd until like this is where we got what's his name? Brad Baylor that came in and did the most DQing maneuver in all of pro wrestling. If the referee saw it, there was a knee strike, but the referee didn't see it. So I guess he didn't. Unfortunately, no evidential proof other than the recording camera. But this is where we got what's his name? Brad Baylor goes for a pin, but this is where Axiom kicks out of it. Oh, thank you so much. This is where we got. This is where we got going for a Nelson lock with Axiom. This is where then. Riddler actually counters and rolls right out of it somehow. This is where he hit the German suplex. Then he tried to crawl, try to tag in his partner, Frazier. Only for. Only for Ricky Smoke to try to go for a boot. This is where Axiom dodged out of the way, right after he's getting prevented from getting hit. This is where Axiom to hit a Spanish fly out of nowhere when he was coming from the left side. Then Axiom trying to go running, go for a rolling flip, tags in Nathan Frazier. This is where then we got the one half reigning defending NXT Tag Team Champions start going for clotheslines, cross bodies. Then he dug out of a clothesline of what's his name of What's his name? What was it? What's his name again? Ricky Smoke. This is where then he goes for a springboard flip into a reverse DDT, like if he's a certain phenomenal one, like AJ Styles. This is where we got uh, Brad Baylor trying to come, but he ends up getting DDT while he reverse DDT'd. What's his name? What's his name? Went to what was his name? I keep forgetting his name. Ricky Smoke. Yeah, that's where he hit the standing shooting star press, only for him to get a denying count at 2.7, which Victor Frazier was like, "Yo, wait, like that's like why this is happening?" This is where he was stunned, like like yeah, like your guess is as good as mine, Nate. Like because I would expect that would be at least like at least a 999, if not a whole three. That's where Nathan Frazier tried to go for the Phoenix Splash, only for what's that? Ricky, Brad Baylor grabs on the Nathan Frazier, goes for like a magic kill like maneuver, like with a double under suplex rolling flip. And anyway, we got the tag team continuity. Like right here, like and this is where we got. This is where then we got the swipe right, then and then we got the upper hand up for Axiom because yeah, Axiom was the what's it called the like was the what's it called the was the what's that called the legal man, and this is where we got Axiom then counter out of the. This is where we got him. This is where we got Axiom somehow got out of it through what's his name? Brad Baylor into Ricky Smoke. This is where then he hits his own partner right into the what's that the right onto the Smoke family what's that Jules, yeah, the Smoke family Jules, which hopefully you're a husband and father, a loving one at that. This is where we got Axiom going with a mid rope or maybe an avalanche Spanish fly along with a Phoenix splash, like right onto Ricky Smoke after Axiom hit his maneuver. They hit a ratio kick onto Brad Baylor before he can even come for the save. Third partner, Nathan Frazier pins Ricky Smoke for the W for the 3 count. And the winner of this match is the reigning defending NXT Tag Team Champion Fraction. And yeah, you best believe this is that we're gonna get the silver trophy of the night of the best wrestling match of the night. Look, it's like a bronze trophy, yeah. And this one shows that like just like the women's division, like the tag team division of NXT must be the second greatest division in NXT on the NXT roster right now. But what are your thoughts on this match? Do you think it could be more like? Do you think that? Well, you think WWE is going to be? Are you going to? Who did that Fraction is going to be fighting? Or the tag team champion? Let me know in the comment section right down below. But that's where we got Fatal Influence in the backstage area, right where we got found him. Was like, okay, I just talked to Ava, and he's like, she's like, one of us, Fatal Influence can easily earn herself an opportunity for the Women's North American Championship. This is where JC James, like, you know who it is. This was like, well, I don't know, but I think that like since I was the second ever Women's North American Champion, you know, I screwed out of that belt. Like it's only fair if I like get the title back. This is where JC James, like, you had that belt long enough, and I'm getting sick of you hogging up the title. This is where then who like if anybody that should deserve a shot and the fatal influence for the championship should be me. This is where they start going back and forth, arguing a bit. This is where it almost got heated. Luckily, Jasmine Nix like came in and intervened, and looked like that was gonna be a good friend and try to be the peacemaker, try to make sure that everything everybody holds their peace. But instead of doing that, like she made the situation even worse because she said she was actually the one that's going to be competing for the women's North American Championship. I'm like, I was like, it's one thing that where someone like JC Jane or Fallon Henley may or may not win the tournament, but like it was completely pointless to have the sidekick like try to challenge for the women's North American Championship when she was not even lucky or qualified or such. But yeah. Nothing against her. Like it seemed like that she needs to be built like more like into singles action and maybe competing more in matches and spend a little less time like being in a like some kind of a faction match. But let me know in the comment section right down below what your thoughts on that.
Oh my god.
But moving on, we got
You're so nosy.
we got Jasmine Nixon took on Sol Ruka. This where them looked like that she could just it looks like at first she might have a chance, and maybe I stood her wrong, but at the same time, I really didn't because my theories and predictions were correct. But here's where we got. Uh, so we could then start going for dodges, like when she got Irish whip right to the upper left corner side, hits a flat face buster maneuver, and a kip up to follow that up with. This is where we got Jasmine Nix barely got up right into the upper, like right to the left side. This is where she tried to hit a right hand, but so Ruka hit a right hand onto her face. This is where then here's where she tried to go for a roundhouse kick, only for Jasmine Nix to only get her legs tripped right into the face. This is where we got. So Ruka then ends up going for right into the right corner slide. This is where then. This is where then. Excuse me. This is where we got. So we could try to go for a springboard frog splash, only for Jasmine Nix to put her knees up, go for a springboard crossbody, like right onto. So we're gonna start stomping right onto the midsection, which Jasmine Nix did a counter of a knee stomp right onto the right. Not stomp a knee right into the midsection onto the female surfer. This is where we got Jasmine Nixon and throws her right to the right corner. So I hit a sliding, skating, what they call drop kick. This is where did you try to, and where she ends up going for a fisherman's buster right into the. But it's where we got what's her name? Jasmine Nixon ends up going for like this like I don't know like this bridge submission lock like looked like a neck breaker, but she had her legs like right up and bending the opposite way without her hands standing onto the mat. But somehow so Ruka counted out the submission hold, escaped out of the touch. That's where we got Jasmine Nix start going for roundhouse kicks right into the midsection. This is where then she didn't try to go for the neck. This is where then we got. That's where we got what's her name? So Ruka then ends up fighting right back, like with her dodging out of her punches. This is where she tried to go fight her version of a Blue Thunder Bomb, which was like a spinning back suplex maneuver. This is where both women were down. This is where the fans start chanting.
Yeah.
But that's where then we got what's her name? So Ruka then ends up going for the pin, but this is where it only got her a near fall at 2.8 by Jasmine. That's where then Zarya's like, oh come on, like that should have been it. That's where then JC Jane disagreed. This is where they start arguing like with this being a perfect distraction for her while she had her back turned during the match. While until like this is where the what the referee were distracted, which there must be the most callable figures in wrestling. This is where we got so we could attack GC Joe, and I mean this is where we got This is where we got what's her name? This is where we got Jasmine Nix got a near fall of a mixed kick. This is where when she hit the maneuver. This is where it gets denied at the last second of 2.7, if I'm mistaken. But this is where we got. This is where she ends up trying to go for another maneuver. She ends up getting inside crit. But
He said the only reason I'm like this, no. He's not like that, no.
but this is where we got what's her name?
He's almost like Boomer. But he said
Here's what Jasmine Nixon had. So Ruka right up in the top rope, trying to go for an avalanche back suplex move, only for that to backfire. With so Ruka hit a soul snatcher right onto no, what's her name to Jasmine Nixon. This is where she became the fourth woman the fourth. I think the fourth woman to qualify, if I'm mistaken. No. No, it was the third woman. Third. I must be thinking of the match that's gonna be on in just a moment, but yeah, big congrats to to the surfing women's wrestler of Soul, and let me know in the comment section right down below about this match for your own opinion. But let's move on to the next slide. This is where we got a backstage interview with the Sarah Schreiber with Javon Evans next. This is where then Javon Evans explained like maybe if both Oba and Trick Williams would listen to him, they wouldn't have to be in this fine mess. And that's where the Javon Evans they could do they what they try to do, actually will little Pomey like what what I can tell you this, bro. Like I'm coming out for an NXT championship. This is where he's like I may not be the heir or the ruler or whatever it refers. Like obviously, like as a matter of fact, I do not want to be one of them. Like I want to be at first. He's like a trick. Like they're trying to stop on my potential before it gets worse. Like dude, that's fine with me. Like I would keep this step by step. And this is where they need to okay, like this is gonna be the start dark stage like tonight, but the week from Sunday, like we're gonna be stand and deliver for the NXT North American Championship. And this is where this is where we got and this is where we got the calling that ends up getting into the ring. Uh, the calling, yeah. But before I get into this, is where what are your thoughts onto this backstage segment with Javon Evans? Do you think he's right? Do you think that both Oba and Trick are underestimated just a bit too much? Just like how like EO and I mean like Bianca and Ripley does this to EO. But anyway, this is where we got well, this is where we got Hank and Tankton came out. This is where they had their tag team match against the Collings of Nico Vance and Brooks Jensen. But I died to break this, like, but they just completely got squashed. This is like probably the blue ribbon of the night, if I'm mistaken. Yeah. There we go. Here's what I got. What's his name? What's the Hank and Tank to try to go for a tag team maneuver only for the backfire. Like going for certain tackle. This is where we got Hank and Tank to start. Got back up. This is where we got Hank over a lot. While Tank go for some kind of dropkick maneuver only for Nico Vance. Then it's fine, but that's where we got. Brooks Jensen and Clobbers poor Tank Ledger trying some forearm strikes while at it. This is where then he hits this like headlock neckbreaker Majiki maneuver. Then he tried to go for a pin, but this is where we got like a 2.5 count in there, quarterback will call. That's where he dragging back to the opponent to Brooks Jensen. This is where we got This is where we got, what was it? This is where we got, what was it? Tank Ledger that started going for like a full Nelson headlock. No, it was Nico Vince that did to him. This is where fans chanting, let go, let go. This is where it is. This is where we got, what happened next? It was, Tank Ledger then goes for flying clothesline on him in the upper left side. Then went to diagonal side in the bottom right. This is where we got him doing the same to him into the heel. This is where we got Hank Walker had a big ginormous boot on the Sean Spears. This is where we got. But right after, Hank Walker had a big boot onto the guy. This is where we got Hank Walker get back in the ring. This is where we're about to put his tag team friendship back together, which they just said tag team. This is where we got Nico Vince and what's his name and Tank Ledger start going at it, but this is where he ends up getting inside cradle by. Yeah, inside cradle by what's it, Hank Walker? This is where Hank Walker hit a boss man slam. We must be a huge big boss man slam. This is where we got Hank Walker. They ends up going over the top rope in the upper right side is where then he tried to go for like this swanton maneuver. Only unfortunately did not connect. This is where then we got Brooks Jensen right after moving. He tags in wasn't it Nico Vince? Is where then they brought him down. It's his continuity double team maneuver. Then get the 1, 2, 3. Winner of this match, the Culling. Yeah, that's what their names are, the Culling. But what you thought of this match, which I'll say, it's all unhappy, Hank and Tank, like right in the ring side area by banging and hitting onto the barricade, because it's very frustrating and very frustrating and irritating to see, and a match of an opportunity of a lifetime will change the world or whatnot, or what am I even saying in particular, but. Moving on, we got what? But this is where we got Ricky Saxton came out because of course he would because he's the current NXT North American Championship. And this is where we got. This is where we got his version of the theme song. Yeah, that's very famous. Like what he's famous for, I should say. Yeah, it's like. But this is where then we got. This is where Booker T was very excited about Ricky Saxton making his appearance yet again. But I tell you some words that me and Vic Joseph have never heard before. And where he's like, I never heard I heard that word before. This word in Booker T said he's Cajun. He he knows all about the Louisiana culture. This is where Vic Joseph was like since when? Like I never heard you hear anything say anything about the state of the sort, but for some surprising reasons, Booker T really does understands and know everything about the culture and the people, and that's from the state of the South. But anyway, this is where we got one of them, the guy that's from the South area and the Louisiana. This is where the Ricky Saints then end up went on to. This is where the Ricky Saints then started chanting wrong Ricky's name. This is where they start chanting Ricky Smokes. And this I was like they like don't they realize like they getting them confused with that tag team that just competed like against the Fraxium team? Like yeah, like I don't know why they were chanting that in the first place, but this is where Ricky Saints is like, well, that was very intimidating, folks. Like I gotta admit, this is where Ricky Saints they continue. Like, but I will say this, like. And that is the first time I stepped foot here in NXT. I told everybody that I'm here to turn this place right upside down. And the fans started cheering like, right after he said it. He's like, and I also told you that the Revolution will be absolutely televised again. You'll get an absolute superstar. And the fans are cheering when he was stating this. He's like, and in the case if you haven't figured out yet that he can do, like if you think I'm like here, like, well, damn it, like now I am now because I am your new NXT North American Championship, which the fans like was in delight with him. And this is where the fans are saying you earned this, like, but which that's probably a true statement, like in longer way to coming, like for him to be into this brand. But that's what Ricky says, like, and while I'd love to keep the celebration going, like, but unfortunately, I have a little bitter taste left in my mouth from last week, and that is. It's all thanks to that no good sneaky coward, all ego Ethan Page. But yeah, this is where then he and yeah, this is where they continue saying like yeah, and I also kind of get it why they did because I fully understand because a guy like me, like in my caliber, came in the exact same thing, but better and quicker. Like my little ego will be shattered just as well, like what you did. And then this is where then Rick said, like, since we all know that Ethan Page had never ever been like the biggest right, like he had, he decided to just try to make a moment for himself to ruin mine. Like, and this is where then the Ricky Saints then continues like, so as the champion, like I never been no punk. Like so, Ethan, like why'd you come out here and discuss this right man to man? That's where. But that's what. But that's where we got Lexus King that came out like with his Heritage Cup trophy, but he played the trophy right into his little entrance throne, like when every time he makes his entrance. That's where he got to chase the reason why he came out. Just like I know, like I know, like you're asking, like why am I trying to go after for a championship when I have the most prestigious achievement award in, which is the Heritage Cup Championship, and which I made the most prestigious and the most much needed championship in WWE. But this where then we got what the this is what Lexus King is like. You know why I love the most, and that is gold, especially around my waist. And this is where then he continues to like, and I would love to put the extra layers. Like this is where before he even continued, this is where what's the name? Eddie Thornton came out, which he said some things that may be true about this country in particular, which I'm going to get into more details on. But it's like something similar to like a kind of talk what a family member of mine would say, like into a situation like Eddie Thorpe was just talking about. I was wondering, like, when Eddie Thorpe said this is where I started questioning, like, was this scripted or unscripted? Which I wouldn't be surprised if they edit this out. But this is where we got what's his name? Eddie Thorpe's like, yeah, like we got Lexus in the ring, we got Ricky in the ring, like then Ricky's about to give out opportunities while there's other people that actually stop that stop at what they deserve, and that's how I get you instead. I've been in the question ever since I've been here in the brand. I've been in the question of champion. This is what I told them. I'm setting my eyes on my raw. Like, so that title, Ricky, like that title, like those titles was the land of my people. Like, yeah, this was a little reference of his culture of Native American, like with which this used to been, America used to been the indigenous land, like for the indigenous people. Hopefully, I don't sound insulting when I say it like that, especially given that I'm a part Native American myself. But anyway, I'm like about 5 different tribes. But anyway, this is where we got. This word, then he said, like, this is the same land that was stolen from them. I was like, that sounds very familiar. Like, I heard that before, but it probably had nothing to do with the podcast, so I'm not going to get too much into details when Eddie Thorpe put it. But this word, they said, like, got the point of saying, yeah, as far as he's concerned, like, that's the title of retribution. And then that championship is his birthright, given that it's based off the country that the people are, like, originally owned before it got taken by the rivals of those that are outside of this land, like for even though that was like centuries ago, like probably like 4 centuries now, but it's just like you don't have to worry about. You don't have to worry about Ethan. The only person you have to worry about is me. That was Eddie Thorpe said. This is where we got Wes Lee came out. This is where he's like, hold up, everybody, hold up. And this is where Tyreek Igwe and Tyson DuPont was side to side behind him. This is where then he was like, you can say a lot. This is where it's like, you can say whatever y'all want, but don't use that conversation with the NXT North American top without including me into the mix. Like, because you see, boys, like that towel right here, that's the absolute peak, like across my shoulder. You like, and now I am long like awaited and of winning that championship, and then I'm long overdue to hold some championship around my waist. And this is where the rookie state was like, oh really, Wes? This is where Alexis King is like, I feel your sentiment, Wes. Like, if I was in your shoes, like, I would absolutely be devastated. Like, I'll be, I'll be exactly like my glory days. But this is where we got Eddie Thorpe was getting the noise like, shut up, guys. Like, you're nothing but a 3. And this is where then he said something that was very inappropriate, which I'm not sure if I should be saying this, but I might just say it once. Like, hopefully, this is Eddie Thorpe's words, not mine. But he called him a 3D white man, like which I'll say was true, but like that does sound pretty offensive, especially when we put it that way. Like, I'm not sure if it was absolutely needed, and I wouldn't be surprised if they edit it out, like, and just skip it out, and maybe even give Eddie Thorpe like to be a bit punished, like if this wasn't scripted, let alone like anything of part of the plan, like for him to say these words. Like Alexis King that, and also to mention about like his people's land that was stolen, which I'll say I can't really argue about it, given of running history about that from outside podcast learning, I should say, like. But like I'll say, given that I'm partially a Native American, and I've been told like probably multiple stories about this, like, but I'm not gonna get too much into details, but like some of the stuff he says is true, but he said, but this is where Eddie, this is where Eddie, I mean, Wes Lee was very shocked, saying like, what, like you did not just say that. This is where Wesley was shocked. Like, we're probably out of character. This is where it's like, that title belongs to me. Like, this is where Ricky Saints is like, listen to me. This is not the time to talk about a bigger game. Like, if you want a shot against the absolute, like this right here, like, all you have to do is ask. But this is where we got Ethan Page to thought of a better idea. How about just attack him and just put the name on the spot as the challenger by hitting that twisting cutter maneuver that looks similar to the twist of fate. This is where we got Eddie Thorpe, Ethan Page, and Lexus King and Wes Lee to start fighting over it as soon as Ricky Saints fell on the outside. This is where we got Ethan Page go for right hand to Lexus King, but Lexus King went right back. This is where we saw Eddie Thorpe and Wes Lee was doing the same way to each other. This is where fans are chanting NXT. Yeah, this was a very extremely interesting segment. Which we saw some competition in the mid-card division. This is where we got Eddie Thorpe brought, Ethan Page out. This is where they started fighting. This was a tornado or maybe even a typhoon worth of attack, but like yeah. Also, this is where like we found out security happened. This is where we saw Booker T was very happy and excited with the homeless man and the hurricane because they love wrestling chaos and the what they call the and the wrestling what's they called the severe the thunderstorm of brawls, I guess you could say. That's their favorite part of the show for some reason. But yeah, that's where we move on to the next slide. And let me know in the comment section right down below, who do you think is going to be the Ricky Saints challenger? Do you think it's going to be one of these guys or it's going to be both? It's going to be this is going to turn into some kind of a multi-man match, which I think we have too many multi-man matches. I believe some probably going to be making fun of this stand and deliver, saying like it says the NXT version of 2000, which was WrestleMania 16, if I'm mistaken, but they only have multi matches and not singles matches, like which was a pretty love. And they think that we can see the same on the card for this year's NXT Stand and Deliver, by given that there's so much like names that this needs to be in championship matches, like to the point that they need to do like fatal 4-way or 5-ways or 6-man or triple or even triple threat matches. Let me know in the comments. But let's go to Trick Williams in the backstage interview with Sarah Schreiber. That's where this dude was like, yeah, you gotta. You got a match against Oba Femi and Javon Evans at Stand Deliver, but before you get into that, you got a match teaming with them against the Dark, what's they called, the Dark Shadow, or they're not Dark, the Dark State. That's what they're called. This is where the Trick Williams is like, oh, like I don't want to hear the stars, like, but every single time, like, give me my, like, did somebody, like, I get mine, like, give somebody in the way, and now it's Javon Evans. Like he's like yeah, like in the resume, what he felt like I'm the Survivor one, like I'm a former North American and a 2-time former NXT champion, back to back main event stand and deliver. Like let's talk about. But then there's said directly right in the camera, which I was like, yeah, the pretty impressive achievement. I took the call yourself a main eventer and the former 2-time world champion on the brand. And the Trick was like, I'm wearing that towel around my waist and tied the record with a certain wrestler that we don't speak about anymore, at least not in this time anymore. But and this is where then the Sarah talked about, well, are you also concerned about like being on the same page with them, like against the Dark State? And this is where he's like, hell yeah, I'm so concerned about. He's like, you see what they did like well, Oba and Javon, like, they don't care about nobody. Like, and this is where Trick was like you two, like speaking, like y'all better be on anger because like Stand and Deliver, like I'm gonna be whooping both of y'all's asses, and this is where. But this is where the but and this is where they at the end of this, the match. Let's say, yeah, none of these guys that was facing off against the Dark State did not like reveal that they were the leader or a member of the group. Let me know down in the comment section right down below if they will be needing a new member of the group, and if so, who do you think that may be? But anyways, moving on, we got Oshiki and Amora then started his match gets Wesley hits a Uranagi slam back first into the apron. This is where we got Yoshiki and Namura. Then wait for Wesley to give up, get right back up to try to go for a pump kick. Then start going for punches left, right, left. They start repeatedly doing so. Just where Yoshiki pushes Wesley right to the right corner slide. Then hit a shoulder tap. It's where then we got what's his name Corey Graves and giving high praise and saying that was once the protege of the great Muda himself. But that's where we got Yoshiki and the goes up right up. Hike over close Wesley then hit the shoulder tackle, the midsection onto Yoshiki. Go for a choke onto him. This is where the referee's like, all right, what are you doing? And they're like 1, 2, 3. This is where Wesley goes for a cannonball. This is where he goes for a pin. But this is where Yoshiki goes for a kick out right onto Wesley. Wesley's like, oh, come on. That should have been a 2 and a 3, 2.3. This is where they start going for foot stomp. This is where we got what's his name? Wesley ends up trying to go for 450 only for Yoshiki and Namor, then ends up hitting a back body drop on the Wesley, just running right directly at him. That's where then Yoshiki and Namor then start putting his fist right into the canvas. Then try to go for punches left, right, left, and center. Then they go for a knife edge chop, like not once but twice, but starting to punches and chops. Which fans start wooing like if they are a certain nature boy. This is where then Edward and Wesley start going for flipping up right up to the top rope. This is where we got. That's where then Booker T's like, referee, do your damn job. That's where Vic Joseph, what are you doing? Like, that's exactly what he's doing. And this is where then, and then, and that's where then we got, what's his name? Yeah, Yoshiki and Namor try to go for a standing suplex onto Wesley, which Wesley is trying to kick him right off of him. But that's where Yoshiki picks him up into a fisherman's position, hit him with a buster right into the back into the middle of the ring, try to go for a pin onto the former North American champion, only for him to kick out at 2.8. It's what Josh Briggs like. Don't sweat it. Don't fret. Don't worry. You're still on your path in the lead. You just need to maintain your strategy. This is where then he tried to go for the splash, but he ends up getting tripped over by Wesley. This is where he hits the middle drop kick on the back of the head of Wesley. This is where we got the former tag team and North American champion, the suicide dive on the Josh Briggs, which that's probably a ginormous mistake because yeah, this is where Josh Briggs went directly in the ring, but even though it was kind of too late for him to do anything about it, because once Wesley went back in the ring, he tried to go for a cross, got in the more, tried to go for a spin around into about to hit a fall, turned into a body slam. This is where Yoshiki then goes up right into the top turnbuckle on the bottom left side, then goes for a splash right into the pass. This is where we got Tyree DuPont and this is where we got Tyson DuPont and what's his name? Tyreek Egru then trips him over. This is where Wesley take advantage of the moment. This is where he hits the cardiac kid right onto the Japanese star. This is where he goes for the pin. 1, 2, 3. Josh Briggs tried to go for the save. I mean, even if he tried to come with early, he still would have cost his partner the match, into by DQ. This is where they're like, curses. Which I was like, yeah, I was like, yeah, maybe at the same time, Wesley shouldn't have died right on Josh Briggs, and so I'm telling me he's definitely gonna be paying some type of repercussions for attacking Briggs, even though there's some repercussion they need to pay when you mess with Super Ninja Austin. That's his thing, but at the same time, Josh Briggs looks like that in general, even though he's not trying to play a gimmick. But that's where Oval Fame is like. That's where the Oval Fame is like, yeah, everybody's wondering where you strike it, or where you're going to strike and where you're going to strike. And we were all way too know about that, for your condition or what you talk about last week. I want you to see what you done because you hit me through with your last shot, with your best shot. You failed to put me down, trick. But tonight I'm gonna return that favor. You and what done for once and for all. I was about. This was and then once I get done, taking care of you guys, Dark State, I'm going after the trick and the Javon Evans that's didn't deliver, and then which is less than 2 weeks, and then they're gonna hit me with their damn near greatest shot, and then they're gonna learn. And he's and they're gonna finally learn, and they're gonna learn the hard way that the Ruler really cannot stop. And it's and then they're gonna suffer, and that's gonna defeat of the Hounds of the Darkness, and that is courtesy of Oba Femi. And this is where he looked directly in the camera with a very crazy eyes. But what are your thoughts onto this very interesting I'll say this a very interesting development with the with the what they call the dark state, but yeah, let me know down in the comment section right down below about that, and also like what were your predictions on who's gonna win this tag team match as well, but because it was the women's qualifying Claire against Izzy Damon, yeah, this is like a match that you would expect like that who's gonna be the winner. And I'm not trying to say like if if it like fake, but I'm saying like it's like something that you already knew, but even for something that it was already knew that who was gonna still was pretty entertaining to watch. Ridwell got Dame trying to start off with a hit body slam and what's her name? Ren Sinclair only for her to go for a roll. Izzy Dame trying to go for an attack. This is where she gets dodged out of. This is where we got what's her name? Ren Sinclair goes for a quality onto Izzy. This is where she only got a kick out at 2.2 receive. This is 0.2, I mean, well, I'm not his name, but this is where here's where we got what's her name? What's her name? We got Ren Sinclair to go for an arm where we got her sitting there right to the bottom right corner. This is where we got her going for This is where just try to go for a fix onto Izzy Dane, but that didn't even work. Like it seemed like that. What's her name? It seemed like that. What's her name? Uh, what's her name? Wasn't that Ren Sinclair was trying to win? But like that doesn't mean that. Excuse me. Yeah, I know trying to get a win, but that doesn't always be the case when it comes to fighting at these type of match schedules. Here we go. But here's where we got what's his name? Ren Sinclair to try to go for some kind of a Widow's Peak kind of submission all afterwards. This is where we got Izzy Dame that ends up picking up the female member of No Quarter Catch Group. It's a big devastating boot. Then Izzy Dame did not wait no long. This is where did she hit her with another body. Then in the middle drop kick. This is where we got. But that's where we got Izzy Dame to put this is where they got what's about to throw Ren Sinclair out there. That's where then Booker T started rooting for her for whatever reason that is. It was just push the damn button when you describe it. It's where he stated that how much he loves this. We got Izzy Day started hitting some right hands on the poor face of Ren Sinclair, like forearm at the forearm. But it's where we got Izzy Dame to try to go for a pin, only for her to get stopped by what's her name, Ren Sinclair. That's where that's where she started going for like a chicken wing kind of headlock. That's where Sean Spears was watching, like being interested, like that. Yeah, that Izzy Dame is really putting down Ren Sinclair like into a very in a very tough, hard place. By shoulder tackle or clothesline by Ren Sinclair to follow that up with with her making a comeback. This is where she's trying to go over a pin. Only for Izzy Dame to kick out at 2 point. What was the I thought I go for fall center, but this is where they end up getting another Ren Sinclair counter into a crucifix bomb. This is where you go over a pin to kick out. And the winner's match to be added to Ren Sinclair, Sol Ruka, Saria, and Kalani Jordan, which I wish they're both in the women's ladder match, which I would never thought that they'll. It showed like spot in the to the